Let's begin in Imo State, where police have arrested 6 security operatives of the Joint Task Force allegedly involved in extortion and searching of phones of unsuspecting public. Parading the suspects in Owerri, the Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Barde, revealed that different denominations of rumpled naira notes suspected to have been forcefully collected from mortuaries were also found in their possession. TVC's Prince Uba reports.
It's been a daily outcry from members of the public against police extortion. These operatives of the Joint Task Force of Operation Search and Flush, set up by Imo State government to fight insecurity, reportedly extorted members of the public. The CP said the unprofessional action of the security operatives is criminal, promising that the law will take its course.
These 2 gentlemen here wrote a letter to me. After going through it, I now committed that right to investigation. That the sum of 360,000 was sent to him by his father to pay school fees. But these gentlemen you see here, the security agents here, cornered him and collected that 360,000 by diverting it into a POS account. So we committed it to investigation.
Some of the victims narrated their ordeals in the hands of the operatives.
Whenever I'm traveling to my village through that Umaka road, I see people sitting on the floor. I see youths sitting on the floor. They don't do anything. Just like once they see you with an iPhone or they see you at well-dressed, they will force you out of the minibus and they will ask you to send some money to their account.
Then now I see my account balance and see 2 million there and say that I have to pay that 2 million. I now tell them that that is not my money, it's my brother's money. They say, no, I have to pay the money and start handcuff me and flog me. Then I say, okay, let me pay 1 million. Then I agree.
For the commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, 2 of his men allegedly involved in the crime will be dealt with if found culpable.
I cannot exonerate my men totally, but the training we had received, I am pretty sure it is not to this extent that we have received. If they are found culpable, like I said earlier, they will be shown the way out.
The 6 security personnel arrested include 3 staff of NDLEA, 2 operatives of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and a police inspector who were allegedly to have harassed, tortured, and robbed their victims of substantial amount of money through transfer. Prince Uba, TVC News, Owerri.
Now, for more on this development, let's speak to the Imo Police Public Relations Officer, Henry Okoye. He joins us via phone. Good to have you join us.
Good. Thank you very much.
So for a lot of Nigerians, this is their daily experience. This is not news for them. And so when they watch report like this, they think that the police is just doing it for the camera. For these police officers, if found guilty, what is the penalty?
Certainly, if these officers are found complicit at the end of the day, they will be shown the way out of the force, and appropriate disciplinary action will be taken against them. The command has received a series of complaints from members of the public accusing security operatives of extortion and incivility to members of the public, particularly from the youth of the state, who always allege that they are being harassed, intimidated, their phones sacked, unlawfully seized, and at the end of the day, being forced to make a series of transfers via POS to the tune of thousands of naira. And this happens on a daily basis, which has really portrayed the image of the Nigerian Police Force in the Imo Command in a very bad light. Sequence to a series of these complaints, the Commissioner of Police, CP Mohammed Barde, PSC Dada, simply inaugurated a high-powered investigating team and charged them to go all out and apprehend the operatives embarrassing the command. And today, I can beat my chest that the command has been able to identify the incompetent things tarnishing the image of the Nigerian Police Force in a very bad light in the state. And the team comprised of 3 NDLEA personnel, 2 civil defense officers, and a very junior police officer. And the team is equally led by a deputy superintendent of civil defense. They are on a joint task force deployed on the special operation of searching and flushing out migrants and criminally minded elements from the state. But unfortunately, they have decided to turn themselves into nightmares and thieves who always draw unsuspecting members of the public, forcing them to make transfers.
And Mr. Okoye, let me come in here because almost every other day, as a Nigerian, if you're moving on the streets, however, whether by bus or by a private car, you are going to come across at least one police checkpoint, at least one police a group of police officers. And so the question really is, in terms of how the police relate with the general public, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable? Because most times Nigerians don't know what to do when you are talking to someone who is carrying a gun. Most times they just obey. So what is acceptable and what is not acceptable?
I've said this time without number that all form of extortion is not acceptable. Collecting money on the road is not acceptable. Harassing members of the public is equally not acceptable. So members of the public should be courageous. I've given out the emergency line of Imo State Police Command, time without number. They should reach out to us and report these officers who are in the habit of portraying the image of the Nigerian police force in a bad light by acting in a manner unbecoming of a police officer. And sincerely speaking, I'll tell you, on the part of the police division, there have been great improvements. But then, majority of the complaints we're having, they are from the operatives of the joint task force, just like the ones we apprehended yesterday. If you see them, they don't put on police uniform. I tell you that when you're on a joint task force operation, you're supposed to put on, that officer is supposed to put on the uniform of the security agency they represent. But unfortunately, you can see what is happening. Like the ones we arrested yesterday, many of them are putting on black uniform. And members of the public, by the time they see security officers putting on black uniform, they feel that they are police officers. They put on special force vest. So members of the public should be courageous to us. If a police officer stops them on the road, they should stop. But if the officer is trying to go contrary to the ethics of the force, they should not hesitate to let us know. Other observers too, they should let us know so that we can collectively improve the quality of police service delivery, not just in Imo State, but across the federation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And you took that out of my mouth because you mentioned, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I was going to ask you, what is the Nigerian police force doing to ensure that, this disciplinary action against erring officers, it's seen across the country and not just in Imo State?
The Nigerian police force, under the leadership of IGP Olukayode Adeolu Ebetokun, PhD, has an unwavering commitment to upholding the highest standards of professionalism. And I tell you, we have established the corporate response unit. We equally have the CP monitoring unit and the IGP squad in all the jurisdictions, not just in Imo State. And any officer that is found wanting acting contrary to the professional ethics of the force, definitely they have been taking the necessary disciplinary action so far.
All right, we're following this story, as it were, and we'll continue to see how well the police will clean up his own house. Thank you so much for talking to us. The Police Public Relations Officer, Henry Okoye, in Imo State.